The young man stood in front of Shola like a question that refused to go away. Shola's body was still shaking from the near accident. Her feet were dusty. Her wrapper was old and torn in some places. Her eyes looked like someone who had been crying for many days without rest. The young man's voice was still sharp from the shock. "Don't you have eyes?" he had said. But when he looked closer, his face changed. "It's you," he said again, slower this time. "The girl from that day." Shola stepped back. Her heart jumped in fear. She thought he might be angry, or he might blame her, or worse, he might be like other men she had seen on the streets, men who looked at poor girls like free meat. She lowered her head quickly. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't see the car." The young man's anger disappeared completely. "No, I'm the one who should be sorry," he said. You almost... He stopped talking when he noticed Shola's face. It was not just fear, it was exhaustion, it was hunger, it was the kind of tiredness that enters a person's bones. He took a step closer, but kept a respectful distance. "What happened to you?" he asked gently. "Where have you been? I searched for you." Shola did not answer. Her throat was dry. He looked at her hands. They were rough. Her nails were short and broken. Her palms had marks like someone who washed clothes every day. His heart squeezed. "I came to your house," he continued, "but your mother was..." He stopped again because Shola's eyes suddenly became wet. She blinked quickly, trying to stop the tears from falling. Then her knees shook. In one sudden moment, Shola almost collapsed. The young man rushed forward and held her before she fell to the ground. Hey, he said, panicking. "You're not okay. You need help." Shola tried to stand straight, but her body was no longer listening to her. Hunger and stress had eaten her strength. "Please," she murmured, "I'm fine." But she was not fine. The young man looked around the street. People were passing. Some stared. Some did not care. Some laughed. In that town, a poor girl's suffering was entertainment for some people. The young man made a quick decision. "Come with me," he said. Shola pulled back immediately. "No," she said, shaking her head hard. "No, please." Her voice was full of fear. The young man paused. He realized something important. Shola did not fear him because of what he did. She feared him because of what life had done to her. He softened his voice even more. "My name is Dare," he said. "I won't harm you, I promise you." Shola still did not look up. Dare continued. "I'm not asking you to trust me with your whole life. I'm only asking you to trust me enough to eat, rest, and breathe. You look like you haven't slept well in weeks." Shola's stomach made a small sound. It was not loud, but it was enough to shame her. Hunger always embarrassed her. Dare heard it. He didn't laugh. He didn't insult her. He didn't make jokes. Instead, he said softly, "Please." That single word sounded like kindness, and Shola had not heard kindness in a long time. Her eyes rose a little. Not fully, just a little. She saw his face properly for the first time. He was young, yes, but his eyes were not careless. They were serious, calm, concerned, like someone who was not pretending. Shola swallowed. "Okay," she whispered, almost like she was talking to herself. Dare helped her into the car gently. The car interior smelled like clean leather and expensive perfume. Shola felt like she was entering another world. She was afraid to touch anything. She sat at the edge, holding her wrapper tightly like it was a shield. As the car moved, Shola looked through the window, seeing the market stalls, the dusty roads, the noise, the normal life she never had. She felt like she was dreaming, but she was also afraid, because her life had taught her this rule. When happiness comes suddenly, pain usually follows. Dare's house was not a house. It was like a palace. Tall gates, security men, clean compound, flowers arranged like they were trained to stand upright. Shola's mouth opened slightly as she stepped down from the car. She wanted to run, not because she did not like it, but because she felt she did not belong there.
A security man nodded respectfully to Dari. "Welcome, sir." Dari nodded back and led Shola inside. The floor was smooth and shining. The walls were decorated with paintings. The air smelled like air conditioner and calmness. Shola walked slowly, afraid her feet might stain the floor. A house girl approached Dari and greeted, "Good afternoon, sir." Dari replied, then turned to Shola. "Please, sit," he said. Shola sat on the edge of a big sofa. It was so soft it almost swallowed her. She quickly stood up again, scared she might spoil it. Dari noticed. He smiled slightly. "You won't spoil it. Sit, you are safe here." Shola sat again, her hands on her lap. Dari called the house girl. "Bring food, something warm, not too spicy," he instructed. The house girl nodded and left. Shola looked around and saw something that almost made her cry. There was light. Not just electric light, but the kind of light that comes from peace. In Mama Bola's house, even when the bulb was on, the place still felt dark. The house was full of insults and anger. Even the walls felt tired. But here, everything felt quiet. It scared Shola because peace was unfamiliar. When the food came, Shola hesitated again. Rice, chicken, clean water, fruit. It looked like the food people served guests during Christmas. Dari sat opposite her and said, "Eat." Shola's hand trembled as she picked a spoon. She ate slowly at first, then faster, then tears fell into the food. Dari watched quietly. He did not ask too many questions. He let her eat. After she finished, Shola leaned back slightly like someone whose body finally remembered it was alive. Dari spoke gently. "Do you feel better?" Shola nodded. Dari said, "Now, tell me, what happened?" Shola's heart tightened. She looked down again. For some seconds, she kept quiet. Then she began. At first, her voice was low and shaky, but as she spoke, the words poured out like water that had been blocked for too long. "I lost my parents when I was small. My stepmother took me in. Her name is Mama Bola." Dari listened. "She hates me. She always hated me. People in our area say my stepmother killed my mother. They say she killed my father too. I don't know. I was young, but she hated me from the day I entered her house." Dari's jaw tightened slightly. Shola continued, "I don't eat well. Sometimes if I make mistake, I don't eat for 2 days." Dari's eyes widened. 2 days? He repeated quietly. Shola nodded. Then she told him about the market, how she met him, how she answered him without looking up because she was scared. She told him about the next day when he came to the house. Her voice shook more at that part. "I was watching from window. I saw everything. I saw my stepmother dancing. I saw my stepsisters trying to claim you. I saw how you asked for me." Dari looked away for a moment, ashamed. "I didn't know it would cause trouble." Shola nodded sadly. "It caused trouble," she replied. "They said I was sleeping with men. They called me prostitute. They beat me. They threw me out." Her voice broke. "I begged," she whispered. "I begged, but they didn't listen." Dari felt anger rising inside him. "You mean you have been sleeping on the street since then?" he asked. Shola nodded. Dari stood up and began pacing. "This is wickedness," he said. "This is pure wickedness." Shola flinched slightly because loud anger reminded her of Mama Bola, but Dari was not angry at her. He was angry for her. He noticed her flinch and quickly calmed down. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't mean to scare you." Shola shook her head. "It's okay," she said softly. Dari sat down again. "Listen," he said. "You cannot go back to the street. Not today, not ever again." Shola's eyes widened. "No," she said quickly. "I will go. I will find somewhere. I don't want to cause trouble for you." Dari stared at her. "Trouble?" he repeated. "Shola, you are not trouble." Shola froze. She looked at him. He continued, "You have suffered too much. This is not your fault." Shola wanted to believe him, but belief was hard. Her life had trained her to expect rejection. Dari said, "For now, you will stay here.
You will rest, you will bathe, you will sleep well. Shola's lips trembled. Sleep. A real bed. A room. She almost cried again. But, she whispered, people will talk. Dari shrugged. Let them talk, he replied. The people who watched you suffer and said nothing have no right to talk now. Those words landed in Shola's chest like something warm. For the first time in years, someone defended her. The room with white sheets. The house girl took Shola to a guest room. When the door opened, Shola stopped breathing for a moment. A large bed with white sheets, curtains that moved gently, a clean bathroom, a mirror. Shola looked at her reflection in the mirror and almost did not recognize herself. Her face looked thin, her eyes looked older than her age. She touched her cheeks lightly. She remembered the days she used to be small and playful before pain made her quiet. The house girl spoke gently. Madam, please bathe. If you need anything, call me. Shola turned quickly. Please, she said, panicking. I'm not, madam. The house girl looked confused. Shola lowered her voice. I'm just Shola. The house girl smiled politely. Okay, Shola, she said. I'm Morenike. If you need anything, call me. After the house girl left, Shola locked the door. She stood still for some seconds, just listening to the silence. Then she entered the bathroom. Warm water touched her skin, and something inside her broke. She cried. Not small tears, big tears. She cried for her mother. She cried for her father. She cried for the childhood she lost. She cried for the hunger, for the insults, for the nights on the street, for the fear. She cried until her chest felt empty. After bathing, she wore the clothes Morenike brought. Simple, clean gown. Shola sat on the bed slowly. She touched the white sheet gently, like it might disappear. Then she lay down. And for the first time in a long time, Shola slept. Not the kind of sleep where you wake up every hour in fear. Real sleep. The kind that repairs the body. The kind that whispers, you are safe. Mama Bola hears the news. While Shola was sleeping in peace, trouble was also waking up somewhere else. In Mama Bola's house, the atmosphere was heavy. Bola and Titi were inside, pressing phones and talking nonsense, pretending they did not care. But they cared. They cared deeply. Because after Shola left, something strange started happening. People began whispering. Did you hear? That rich man was looking for Shola. Imagine, Mama Bola chased her away. See wickedness. Mama Bola heard those whispers and it made her angry. That evening, one neighbor came to greet Mama Bola. Mama Bola, good evening. Mama Bola forced a smile. The neighbor looked around and asked casually, where is Shola? Mama Bola's eyes flashed. Shola, that girl has gone to meet men outside. I don't keep prostitutes in my house. The neighbor frowned slightly. Mama Bola, be careful what you say, she advised. That girl has suffered. And if truly a rich man likes her, then maybe God wants to change her story. Mama Bola laughed loudly. Change story, she mocked. God will not use that useless girl to shame me. It is my daughters that will marry rich men. The neighbor sighed and left. As the night grew, Mama Bola began to think. What if that rich man truly likes Shola? What if Shola becomes something big? What if the town starts mocking her? Mama Bola's heart grew bitter. She called Bola and Titi. My daughters, she said, sitting in the sitting room like a queen, you must not allow that Shola to climb above you. Bola rolled her eyes. Mommy, what do you mean? Mama Bola leaned forward. That man that came, he came because of Shola. We can't allow it. Titi scoffed. So what do? She's gone. Mama Bola smiled slowly. We will find her, she said, and we will bring her back. Bola's eyes looked shocked. Bring her back for what? Mama Bola's eyes became hard. For control, she said. If that man wants her, he will come again, and when he comes, we must be ready. Bola's voice became excited. How? Mama Bola stood up. She said, we will pretend. We will act like we love her. We will act like we made a mistake. We will bring her back as our daughter. Then when the man comes, we will turn the story around. Titi smiled. And if the man still refuses?
Mama Bola's face darkened. Then Shola will not enjoy him. Those words hung in the air like smoke. Bola and Titi looked at each other and smiled. Their jealousy was becoming a plan. Dari sat in his private office the next morning, thinking deeply. He was known in town as a young billionaire, smart, calm, and disciplined. His father had built wealth, and Dari had doubled it with good business decisions. People admired him, but many also wanted to use him. That was why he was careful. But Shola was different. She was not begging for money. She was not forcing herself on him. She was not trying to impress him. She looked like someone who had forgotten that good things could happen, and that touched him. His friend and business partner Kunle entered the office that morning. Kunle smiled. "Ah, Mr. Dari, what is that serious face?" Dari sighed. Kunle sat down. "I came to tell you something," Kunle said. "The investors from Abuja want to meet this week." Dari nodded absent-mindedly. Kunle noticed. "Guy, something is wrong. Talk." Dari hesitated. He did not like sharing private things, but Kunle was his friend, so Dari told him. He told him about Shola, about the market, about the house drama, about finding her on the road. Kunle's eyes widened. "Wait, you carried a stranger to your house?" Dari frowned. "She is not a stranger. She's Shola." Kunle leaned back, whistling. "My brother, you have entered story." Dari stared. Kunle continued. "If that girl is truly innocent, you must handle this with wisdom. Wicked people don't like seeing good things happen to others." Dari nodded slowly. "I know," he said. "That's why I'm thinking." Kunle leaned forward. "What exactly do you want to do for her?" Dari's voice became firm. "I want to help her. I want to protect her. I want her to have a life." Kunle nodded slowly. "Then do it properly," he advised. "Get her legal protection. Get her documents. If she will stay, let it be official. Because when her stepmother hears, she will come with drama." Dari sighed slowly. "I know," he said, "and I am ready." Shola woke up in the afternoon, confused. For a moment, she thought she was dreaming. Then she saw the room again. The white sheets, the clean curtains, the soft pillow. It was real. She sat up slowly. Her body felt lighter. Her mind felt calmer. Then she heard a knock. Morenike entered gently with food. "Good afternoon, Shola," greeted. "How was your night?" Shola blinked. I slept," in disbelief. Morenike smiled. "That's good. Please eat." Shola ate again, slowly this time, enjoying every bite. After eating, Dari came to see her in the living room. He sat opposite her. "Good afternoon," he greeted. Shola bowed her head slightly. "Good afternoon, sir." Dari frowned. "Please," he said, "don't call me sir." Shola was confused. "What should I call you?" "My name is Dari," he said. Shola hesitated. In her world, calling a rich person by name was disrespect. But Dari insisted gently. "Dari." Shola tried. "Dari," she said quietly. Dari smiled. "That's better," he said. Then he became serious. "I want to ask you something," he said. "Do you have any relative at all? Anyone you trust?" Shola shook her head slowly. "No," she said. "My mother's family rejected me. My father's family, they disappeared after he died." Dari nodded. "Okay," he said. "Then we will do something else." Shola's heart started beating fast. "Are you sending me away?" she asked quickly. Dari hesitated. "No," he said. "I'm not sending you away. I want to help you start again." Shola's eyes failed. "How?" she whispered. Dari spoke calmly. "First, you will stay here for now. You will rest and regain strength." Shola's chest tightened with emotion. "Second," Dari continued, "I will register you in an adult education program. You need school. You need knowledge. It will give you power." Shola stared. School? She had always watched other people go to school like it was a festival she was not invited to. Now someone was offering it to her like it was normal. Shola's lips trembled. "I'm old," she whispered. "I'm not a child." Dari shook his head. "Education has no age," he said simply, "and you are not too old to begin." Shola nodded, tears rolling down. Dari continued. "Third, I want you to learn a skill, something that will make you independent,
so nobody can ever throw you out again. Shola wiped her face. She could not speak. Derry paused, then added carefully, and Shola, I want you to understand something. This help I am giving you, it does not mean you owe me your body. Shola froze. Derry saw her expression and understood. He said softly, some men help women and then demand something in return. I'm not that type. Shola's throat tightened. She whispered, thank you. Derry nodded. But as he spoke, fate was already moving because wickedness had heard and wickedness was coming. 2 days later, Shola was inside the compound, sitting outside near flowers, looking at the sky. It still felt strange that she could sit and do nothing. In Mama Bola's house, sitting was a crime. If Shola sat for 1 minute, someone would shout, are you a queen? But here, nobody shouted, nobody insulted. Shola was slowly learning what peace felt like. That afternoon, a security man approached Derry. Sir, he said, there is a woman at the gate. She claims she is family of the guest. Derry's eyes narrowed slightly. What woman? He asked. The security man replied, she said her name is Mama Bola. Shola, who was sitting at a distance, suddenly froze. Her blood turned cold. Her hands began to shake. Mama Bola? Here? How? Shola stood up quickly, her chest tight. Derry noticed her reaction immediately. He walked to her. Is that your stepmother? He asked quietly. Shola nodded, unable to speak. Derry's face became hard. She has boldness, he said under his breath. Then he turned to the security man. Tell her to wait, Derry instructed. The security man nodded and left. Shola's eyes were wide with fear. She will hurt me, Shola whispered. Derry held her gaze. Not here, he said firmly. Not in my house. But Shola was shaking like a leaf. Derry softened again. Listen to me, he said. Nobody will touch you. I will handle it. Shola swallowed hard. Derry walked toward the gate. And there she was, Mama Bola, dressed in her best wrapper and blouse, smiling like a church woman, acting like a mother of the year. The moment she saw Derry, she started crying dramatically. My son, she cried. God bless you. God bless you for helping my daughter. Derry stared at her, expressionless. Mama Bola continued. That girl Shola, she is stubborn. She ran away from home. I have been searching for her everywhere. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. She wiped her eyes. I'm her mother, she added quickly. Please let me see my daughter. Derry's voice was calm but dangerous. Your daughter, he repeated. Yes, Mama Bola said, nodding strongly. My daughter. Derry leaned slightly forward. You mean the same daughter you threw out? He asked. Mama Bola's smile paused for a second, but she recovered quickly. My son, it was misunderstanding, she said. People lied to me. They deceived me. You know how people are. Derry nodded slowly. So you didn't accuse her of sleeping with men? He asked. Mama Bola laughed awkwardly. My son, no. I was angry. Mothers talk sometimes. Derry stared at her, not moved. Mama Bola changed strategy. She lowered her voice, pretending to be humble. My son, she said, I heard you are a good man. Please, let me take my daughter home. Derry's eyes sharpened. No, he said. Mama Bola blinked. No, she repeated. Derry spoke clearly. She is not going back to that house, he said. Mama Bola's face began to change. My son, you don't understand, she said, forcing a smile. She is my responsibility. Derry replied calmly. You were responsible when you starved her. You were responsible when you made her a housemaid. You were responsible when you threw her out. Now you suddenly remember responsibility? Mama Bola's eyes flashed with anger, but she tried to hide it. My son, she said, trying to sound wise. You are a young man. Women can be dangerous. Don't let a girl use tears to enter your house. Derry laughed slightly. Madam, I saw her on the road. She almost fainted. That is not acting. Mama Bola's voice became sharper. So you will keep her? Derry answered without shaking. Yes. Mama Bola's mouth opened. What are you to her? She challenged. Derry's eyes became cold. I am someone who has decided she will not suffer again. Mama Bola hissed. You think you are helping her, she said bitterly, but you are destroying her. Dari stepped closer. Madam, leave my gate. Mama Bola's face hardened. You will regret this. Dari's voice dropped. Madam, leave, he repeated. Mama Bola turned and walked away, but her steps were heavy with anger. As she left, her eyes looked like someone already planning another trouble. And Shola, watching from a distance, felt fear crawling back into her chest. Because she knew Mama Bola. When Mama Bola smiles too much, it means she's about to do something wicked. That night, Dari called Shola to sit with him. Shola sat quietly, nervous. Dari said, Shola, your stepmother came today. Shola nodded. I saw, she whispered. Dari leaned forward. Shola, I need you to be brave, he said. That woman will not stop. Shola's eyes filled again. What will she do? She asked, voice trembling. Dari paused. I don't know yet, he admitted, but I know wicked people don't like losing control. Shola swallowed. Dari continued. From now, you will not go out alone.